It's time to hear the story, make the connection, learn the lesson, and gain the wisdom. Are you ready? Let's get charged and be changed. The Sister Speak Brother Break Show. Conversations on grace, healing, and deliverance. This is Marcy Bush. Come on, let's journey together. Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Sister Speak Brother Break Show. Today, as always, I have a very special guest. This man's name is Cecil Jackson. And even though we are from the same area, I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s before I really remember Cecil. And it's because we were at church together. And so over the years that we've been here, I have come to know and love him. Cecil is one of my big brothers. He is one unique individual. Do you hear me? Cecil is very unique. You ain't gonna find but one of him. But he has a heart of gold, and he has a story that is worth being told. And so I know that there will be something that you get from this conversation today that's gonna bless your life. So Cecil, thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. Probably most of what I know about your life, I've kind of heard through sermons or through our pastor, who is Cecil's nephew, through him reminiscing. And so that's how I know a lot about you, or some about you. Yeah. But I want you to kind of just tell us what was it like for you? What are some of the things that you remember that kind of stand out in your memory from your young life of kind of shaping you into who you are?
Well, I guess my dad and mom, they was always teaching us. It was a constant teaching thing. So dad and mom really shaped who I am today and stuff. Even sometimes now when me and my nephew's talking, when me and Bishop is talking, he'll say something and I'll say, "'Cause Dad taught us that. That's who we are." Mm-hmm. And this person you're talking about, that's who Dad and Mom made us. Okay. That's who we are from the core of us. So, and with life, you know, especially my mom said I was the baddest kid she had. Oh Lord, mercy. She said that she told me one day. She said I had 10 head of kids, and your head is harder than all of them. So I was one of them that I got a lot of whoopings. Okay. Lots of whoopings. Okay. All the time. But it was to guide me. I understand it now. I thought, oh my God, Mom, what you trying to do? You know. But I didn't get a lot of whooping from my dad. He would talk to us more. Okay. Now when he whooped, you know. But he would always guide me and stuff, man. So that's how I.
Well, see, so why was you getting whoopings? Were you rebellious, or were you like into stuff, trying to what
all of the above? Oh, all of the above. I just tell you, my mom said my head was the hardest one of all of her kids, and I always had this thing about I just thought I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and, you know, and I was thinking about it earlier today. One of the things I've noticed about me is, and I was getting dressed this morning to do something, and I was like, you know, you always thought out of the box. Because whatever Dad and Mom wanted us to do or wanted me to do, I was always doing something else. Always. And that's why I got most of my whoopings I get. So even with Bishop, man, because we grew up together and stuff, he would always be doing something else. And all he would say, "Yo, I'm over here." So, and we would go over there. I wanted to go do something else. But anyway, that's what shaped us, shaped me for who I am. Then I joined the military, and that was a whole nother.
How old were you when you joined the military?
I was 24.
24.
I was 24, married, had 2 kids when I joined the military.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So. Now, so your young life, up until you, what did you do after, between high school and the military? What did you do?
Well, first I went to work. Well, I was driving a school bus in high school, so when I got out of high school, I started working at, I think it was one of the mills first. Started working at one of the mills, and that didn't last long because I still had this hard head, man. I wanted to do it my way.
Okay.
And, then I was trying to hang with everybody, and that was. It took me years to realize that that's not who I am. Yeah. But because of the group that I was with in my young time, high school, right after high school and stuff, partying, drinking, and all that stuff, man. So that's what I was doing. And that's what got me into all kinds of trouble. But that's another whole story.
Well, we're here for your story. So any of these stories that you wanna share is fine. One thing that I do know about you is, and we've kind of hit on it before we sat here, is that God has delivered you from alcoholism.
Yes, yes.
How did you get started down that road, and what did that look like?
Getting delivered from alcohol?
No, how you got into?
Oh, into alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, my dad and my dad used to bootleg. He used to make liquor, moonshine, all that stuff. He used to make it, so I was around it all the time.
Okay.
It was forbidden to an extent, I think, but it was there all the time. And we, as kids, we was in everything in the house.
Okay.
You know, so it would be there, and Dad and Mom be gone. We start, drinking. And, I remember the first time I got drunk. My dad had a scuffing irons bush out back. And we would take the scuffing irons and make wine. You let them ferment and stuff. So me and my brother, we started putting that moonshine in it. And I got so drunk. Oh my God.
How old were you?
I don't remember my age. I was young teenager.
Okay.
Early teens, mid-teens.
Okay.
And but we had been sneaking before then, you know, 8, 9.
Just sipping.
Yeah, just getting a drink here and there and stuff. So following the crowd, drinking moonshine. So drinking was the thing.
Okay.
Drinking and then smoking, all that stuff went hand in hand and stuff, And I was smoking and drinking to fit in more so than anything.
Okay.
But one thing led to another, and I don't know that I liked it, grew a taste for it. I guess I just grew a taste for it. And
but was it really and the reason so like, I say that I was a beginning alcoholic, if that makes sense. And the reason I say that, probably for about, maybe, let me see, might have been 4 years, but I was drinking hard, like hard. But I say beginning because I am from a family where there were some alcoholics. And I know that for my brothers who were alcoholics, it was probably 20, 25, it was years. So that's why I say beginning. God snatched me quickly. But for me, it was more of an escape. Mine wasn't even, it did help me fit in, because it made life carefree, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Right. By the time I hit that, it said whatever you want, do whatever you want, you got an excuse. Right. But it was like this escape. It was an outlet.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree, because after a while, that's what it became for me. And I didn't realize it. I didn't realize for years that's what it became, an escape. I could. I hear bitch that alcohol gives a coward courage.
Liquid courage is what I used to call it.
That's what it did for me. And it did, man. I was I could say things, do things.
Yes.
Without the alcohol, I was just quiet, behind, don't want to be seen and all that stuff. So that's what it became for me. You're right. It became an escape to make me somebody else.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to be this person that I was. And
this person who didn't fit in.
Right.
Because I didn't fit in either.
And so then I could drink and I could fit in. It didn't matter whether I fit in or not.
Thank you.
I was just there. And stuff,
right.
You know. But so it turned into this long, years. I guess around 12, 13, 14 until I was, I don't remember the age. It was June 30th, 1990 when God delivered me from alcohol. Now I tried all kind of stuff. I got when I was stationed in Texas in the Army, I got what they call a DWI, driving while intoxicated. So it was mandatory because they had started this thing of just, we used to drink in the military. We could drink a beer in the military during lunch. But
really?
Yeah, and it was legal.
Okay.
But one beer, come on.
Right.
So we would get drunk during lunch and go back and work and stuff. So I got this DWI, and the punishment was, they take in, I got a field grade Article 15. But they take you in, you see the colonel, and he gives you your punishment. I had 45 days extra duty and 45 days of no driving on post, which I lived on post, had a car on post, so I could drive on post. And then he took 1/2 of my pay for 2 months.
Whoa.
Then he told me he was gonna kick me off his post. I said, oh my God.
And so, none of that got you delivered though?
No, none of that worked. But the kicker was it was mandatory that I went to this drug and alcohol class, live in for a week. Okay. And so they took me up there to William Beaumont and, living in and stuff. And we're in the class, and the first thing this guy says when he comes in the room, he started pointing, dead, everybody in the room. So he started talking about, you're an alcoholic. And I said, I ain't no alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic and stuff. So a couple of days, he said, no, you're going to have to admit that you're an alcoholic before you get out of this class. I said, I guess I won't get out.
Wow.
It took my first sergeant. He called my first sergeant. And my first sergeant got on the phone and said, Sergeant Jackson, you need to do what he tell you. So I said, I'm an alcoholic.
But you still didn't believe it.
I said it just so I could get out the class. Yeah. I still didn't think I was no alcoholic.
So when did you realize you were?
After I got delivered.
Oh my gosh.
I went to Korea. I was in Korea. This was prior to the DWI at Fort Bliss. I went to Korea, and a group of us decided that we was gonna stop drinking. And we did for about a month. Okay. And after the month was over, we went like, oh my God, I need to make up for this month that I just missed and stuff. And I stayed drunk from, it was in November, I want to say, until February. Lord. Every day, all day, we stayed drunk. We never sobered up because they had a soda machine which had Coke 45 malt liquor in the soda machine. It
sound like y'all was set up.
So we would get our change together before.
Oh my goodness.
PT was at 6 or 6:30. We'll get our change together and go to the soda machine, get our Coke 45.
Yeah, you was a real.
Right. I'm serious. I am serious.
I think I was probably around noon.
When you were saying that, I said, "No, you wasn't no serious drinker."
I told you I was the beginning. I was headed somewhere fast. Yeah. I thank the Lord. So how did? Okay, so in all that time, didn't know. What made you stop in 1990?
I was stationed at Fort Stewart.
And where is that?
That's down in Georgia, right out of Hinesville. Okay. Excuse me. And met this guy. His name was Jeremiah Joyner and stuff. And he was getting married, and he was from Jacksonville, Florida, and he invited me down to his bachelor party. And so I said okay, and I was supposed to go down that Saturday morning. Well, I came home that Friday. And no, it wasn't. It was that Saturday. I came home that Friday evening, that Saturday morning. Me and my brother and 3 of my nephews, 2 of my nephews, we started drinking. So we drank all day, riding around, drinking all day, riding around, drinking all day. And we end up at one of my sister's houses. And I'm sitting there on the couch, and one of my nephews, which is my sister's son, Omar, he said, I'm leaving. And he walked out the door. But when he walked out the door, it was almost like it was a dream. Because he was in the door and he closed the door. It was real slow. I'm looking at this thing and I'm saying, okay. About 10, 15 minutes later, we get a call that he done had an accident. So we come down here on 278. He done got killed in a car accident. So we down at the accident, and when the police finally come up and tell my sister that he is dead, you know, we go through that. She falls in my arms and all this stuff. And everything clears out. And I'm walking back home from the accident, walking down the highway. And I remembered that I was at Bishop's house, Junior's house one day. We stopped by there, me and my brothers stopped by there to get some money to go get some more liquor.
Okay.
And while we talking to him, he starts talking about Jesus. Well, you know what I'm saying? I've been to church, you know, and I'm thinking. But he started talking about Jesus, and it catches my attention. And he started talking about how if you call him, he'll come. And it's like the more you call him, the more you want to call him and stuff. And, you know, so we went on, got liquor. And I don't know how long after that. I don't know how long. Guess it had been some years after that. We came home and I was going to go to Florida with my friend's bachelor party. And that night, when Omar got killed, I'm leaving that accident. I'm walking away from that accident, and I'm walking down the highway. And I remember what Junior told me about calling Jesus. I remembered it. And I don't know to the day whether I was screaming Jesus' name or not, but I thought I was. I don't know whether I was or not.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was like, whoof. I was in this, it was almost like a bubble, because I could feel myself, but I wasn't touching nothing. And I'm going, I'm looking around, I'm like, wow. And I wasn't afraid of nothing. I was like, wow. And then all of a sudden, whoof, I'm walking again. And that instant, I heard, it was like every dog in the neighborhood started howling. They weren't barking, they were howling. And I'm saying, what in the world going on? And when I get to the house, I'm still in this, I don't know. And I'm talking to my brother-in-law, and he's talking about his son and all this. And he telling me about, you should have did this and all this stuff. And I'm saying, man, what are you talking about? I'm still in this, I don't know what. So that night, me and my wife, and then we go back to Fort Stewart, because I was going to sign out on leave. Okay. And so we down there and stuff, and I remember that morning we got up, and I went in the bathroom to clean the bathroom. Like I normally, you go and clean up and stuff. And before I realized it, I had the water hose in the window cleaning the bathroom, and I could not get this bathroom clean. It seemed like me, I couldn't get it clean enough, and I'm scared and all this. And then I'm saying, okay, go back and do all that stuff. And that night, my daughter, she's in the room. She starts screaming, So we go in the room, what's wrong? I see him. You see who? She said, I see Omar. I don't know if she did or not. I don't know. I don't know if Nikki saw him or not. But I kind of think she saw her reflection in the window. I don't know. That's just me saying that. So, we get her calmed down and telling all that with him and all this stuff. So I'm still in this awe of what done happened to me, not even realizing that something has happened. But I didn't have a taste for alcohol no more. And I didn't realize it until I came back home, and everybody drinking and stuff, and I'm saying, no, I don't want to drink. Everybody drinking, and I'm saying, no. And I'm saying, wow. So, this goes on, and God changes me that night. He changes me and I've never been the same again. I mean, it's mind-boggling today how the change happened. I mean, it was it was like that and stuff. And so that's been my journey with God and stuff. It started then. Well, it actually started before then, because my wife was going to church. She got saved, and I'm looking at her. She coming home and all this peace. I'm used to raising hell, and she go, and all this stuff. And it ain't bothering her. Oh, she's not affected at all. I remember one night standing at the bed, looking at her, and I'm saying. And I remember talking to Junior once before. He said how he has looked at Jeanette when she got saved, and he said he wanted that. I remember that. So I said, I want that. Because I look back now at after he got saved, Cal got saved, Larry, all of them got saved and stuff. I remember my sister Cal telling me how she prayed for me. All she wanted was her. Excuse me.
I know. Help yourself. That's what we're here for.
God. Oh, Lord. I remember her telling me that that's all she wanted was her brother saved. So I guess God started dealing with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it. And stuff. And so I guess I attribute my salvation to them praying for me, because
somebody prayed for you, had you on their mind.
Girl,
took the time and prayed for you. I'm so glad they prayed.
On this chair right here.
I'm so glad they prayed.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Yes, Lord. This interview finna be over.
Oh Jesus.
Oh God.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, Lord. So that's that, and I would tell this testimony to people, and they would look at me like I have lost my mind. Matter of fact, one of the guys that was my gunner on my vehicle, you lying? There ain't no way in the world that happened. He never would believe it. Man.
Wow.
Oh, you lying, Sergeant Jack. I said, oh man, I promise you and stuff. And so that started that started this journey with Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Let me ask you this. So when you were when all this stuff was really, were you in Kuwait? Where was it that you were when you were in the Army? And
okay, the Army started out at Fort Knox, of course, go there for training. Then I left there and went to Fort Bliss.
And where is Fort Bliss?
Fort Bliss, that's in Texas. It's El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
That's the closest city there. Okay. So it's El Paso, Texas, which is the furthest west you can go in Texas and stuff. Okay. So we stationed out there and stuff, and one of my uncles passed first. One of my mom's brothers passed. And then I went to Korea. That's when I went through this trying to stop drinking and all that stuff. Stayed drunk all that time and stuff. And it came back to Fort Bliss. And my mom passed. Okay. And, I'm a young private in the Army, don't know nothing and stuff, trying to get home. I remember going to the Red Cross, and they gave me a ticket to come home. I get to the airport, and this lady at the airport saying the ticket is not enough. I went off. I remember I don't know, there was a big discrepancy and stuff, but anyway, I wasn't saving. I was half drunk that morning, so I went off, and my wife said, trying to calm me down. Anyway, so after Mom died, I wasn't able to get home before she passed and stuff, so I ended up coming home, and that's when my sister Cal, she lost it at the funeral. She lost it, completely lost it. Cal lost it. So I was more concerned about her than me. Okay. And so I grieved a little, but not really. So then I got to go back to Texas. Now I'm in Texas, and oh God, it seemed like the world is closing in on me. My wife tells me later how mean I got, and I stayed that way for a long time. I was mean for no reason. And
but was it for no reason?
I understand it now.
Okay, so what do you understand now?
I understand.
What was that?
I understand now. It was grief. that
Unprocessed.
Okay, I was gonna say I
mean,
didn't deal with it. I didn't deal
yeah,
with it, and it
yeah.
just kept building and building and
Okay.
building, and it would come out in anger and all of
Okay.
that and stuff. I understand that now. I didn't know that
Yeah.
then. I was fine, and then I came home. We went to Germany. All this anger built up inside, all this stuff, and we came back to Fort Stewart.
So you're talking years of anger.
We're talking years. Career was from 80. I joined the Army in 79. 1979, I went to Fort Bliss in February of 1980. I stayed there until June of 81, 1981. Then I went to Korea I got there in July, from July 81 to July 82 when I came back to Fort Bliss. And I stayed to Fort Bliss from July 82 to, we left there in 1986. Excuse me. Let me get my years together. I think it was 1986, like 82, because I re-enlisted in 1983, and we stayed there 2 more years.
Okay.
So it was 85 or 86. But in the meantime, my wife Jenny, her grandmom passed, so we left and came home to that and stuff, and and I understand now how when you get married, you marry into a family, and that family becomes your family. I did. So I'm understanding going through all this stuff. It ain't making sense to me. I know that. So years pass. I leave Fort Bliss, and I went to Germany. No, we went to Germany. Went to Germany in 86. Stayed over there from 86 to 89.
And you were still dealing with anger.
With anger and alcoholism. I'm not an alcoholic now,
Gotcha.
but I'm drinking every day.
All day, every day.
All day.
Okay.
Going on road marches.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you've been blessed by today's show, feel free to let us know. And if you'd like to sow into this ministry, become a sponsor, or contact us, you can reach us at 803-221-0169. Or you can email us at thessbbshow@gmail.com. Let's continue this journey together. Missed any of our past episodes? Catch up on past shows on my YouTube channel at Marcy Bush, MarceyBush. And be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any future episodes.